Now for the next 1 hour or so, we will discuss some Krishna Katha based on an interesting conversation that happened between Yamaraj, the Lord of Death, and Yamadutas, his servants. What do we have to do with their conversation? And the conversation is happening between Yamaraj and Yamadutas. What is our interest in it? They are practicing bhakti, Krishna consciousness. Yeah. It is very interesting, and definitely the conversation is very much relevant to us because it's there in Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is written for us, right? And if Bhagavatam presents a conversation between Yamaraj and Yamadutas, that's definitely relevant to us. When did this conversation happen? In the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami narrates the story of Ajamil. Ajamil was a pure Brahmana, born and brought up in good culture, in a cultured family. But because of association with a prostitute, Ajamil lost all his Brahmanical qualities and he became so degraded. He started earning livelihood through unmentionable means, and he also had so many children through this prostitute, and at the age of 88 he had a little toddler son. And because of his sinful activities that he had committed through body, mind and words, Ajamil, when he was on his deathbed, 3 Yamadutas came to take him to hell. Then he called out the name of his most beloved youngest son, Narayana. He was calling, Narayana, 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 Narayana. Come here, come here. But that Narayana did not come. That boy Narayana did not come. But the original Lord Narayana heard that someone is chanting his name, and he had sent 4 Vishnudutas to protect Ajamil from the Yamadutas. Vishnudutas came and asked the Yamadutas, who are you? Whose servants are you? Why are you troubling this innocent, pure-hearted Brahmana Ajamil? Where are you taking him? Then Yamadutas said, he is pure-hearted Brahmana. He is the most sinful Brahmana. For namesake, he has taken birth in a Brahmana dynasty, Brahmana family, but he committed so many sinful activities. Yamadutas started narrating the whole story, history of Ajamil, and said that he has committed so many sinful activities, but he has never performed an atonement for his sinful activities. He did papa, but he did not do prayashchitta. Therefore, we are taking him to hell. We are the order carriers of Yamaraj. We are the servants of Yamaraj, the Lord of Death. And Yamaraj has complete authority to punish all sinful people in this world. You look proper. You look very beautiful and effulgent. But your activities are not effulgent. Activities are not proper. No one has ever obstructed the constables of Yamaraj till now. When we go to arrest sinful people and take them to hell, no one has obstructed us till now. And you are obstructing us. You look proper, but your activities are not proper. Are you obstructing the order of Yamaraj? Creating hindrance in the activities of the order carriers of Yamaraj is an offense to Yamaraj himself. Please understand that. Don't stop us. Then the Vishnuduta said, oh my God, people who are supposed to uphold dharma are going against dharma. What kind of dharma is this? Sometimes an innocent animal, maybe a lamb or so, or a goat, an innocent animal may take shelter of a landlord, the owner, And thinking that I am in great care, under great care, being maintained and protected by a loving master, they are happily sleeping in the lap of that master, and the master himself takes a big sword and chops off the head of that goat or that lamb. That's what is happening. You are supposed to be protectors of dharma, and you are arresting and trying to punish a person who is the follower of dharma. Then the Yamadutas did not understand. How is he a follower of dharma? I am mistaken. Did you get some wrong address? Right? So your GPS location is not proper. On Google Maps you have kept some other destination point and you ended up in Ajamil's home. By the way, this is not a pure Brahmana. He is not like a purified soul. He is a sinful person. Do you know what all he has done? We'll narrate. They narrated. But Vishnuduta said that you are claiming that he has not performed the atonement process, but he has already atoned for all his sins. When did he atone? We never saw. Then they said, Ajamil chanted the holy names of Lord Narayana, our master. What is dharma? Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Dharma is ordained by the Lord. That Yamaraj will say. We will come to that very soon in 5 minutes. But Vishnuduta said, by chanting the holy name of Lord Narayana, the supreme personification of dharma, this Ajamil has become completely purified. Sanketyam parihasyam va stobham helanameva va vaikunthanama grahanam aseshaghaharam viduhu. Sanketyam, to indicate someone. Parihasyam, making fun of somebody. Stobham helanameva va. Even neglectfully you chant somebody. Chant the name of the Lord. Either neglectfully or with concentration, or to make fun with somebody, or joking with someone, or while falling or tripping or doing something else unconsciously or unintentionally. If you chant the holy names of the Lord, even such chanting of the holy name of the Supreme Lord will only protect you. Asesha aghaharam viduhu will protect you from all sinful reactions. This is the power of chanting the holy names of the Lord. In this Ajamil, hundreds and thousands of times he chanted the name of Narayana very affectionately while calling his son. This Ajamil chanted in a helpless state of existence, very anxiously to call out his son when you were trying to take him to hell. So that affectionate and anxious and helpless chanting of the holy name of Narayana has completely purified Ajamil from all his sinful reactions. And now he doesn't deserve any punishment from you. Get lost from here. They have cut the ropes. If you try to arrest Ajamil, we will kill you. Get lost from here. So they kind of chased them away. And the Yamadutas were defeated, insulted, humiliated. They could not do anything. Vishnudutas are very powerful. They are more in number, definitely. Even if one Vishnuduta comes, that one Vishnuduta is sufficient to teach a lesson to hundreds of Yamadutas. And here 4 Vishnudutas came to deal with 3 Yamadutas. Yamadutas had absolutely no possibility of even touching Ajamil in the presence of Vishnudutas. So they went to Yamaraj. After going to Yamaraj, an interesting conversation began. Yamadutas came to Yamalok with great frustration, with great disappointment. They said, Yamaraj, we thought you are the only authority to punish all sinful people in this universe. You thought you are the ultimate authority. You are the only supreme controller. We thought like that. We thought that when we receive an order from you to arrest someone, to capture someone, to punish someone in hell for the next 10,000 years or 20,000 years, we had absolutely no doubts on your instruction. We just follow your instruction. But looks like you are not a supreme authority. We understand that in this universe, there can be multiple authorities. Authority number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so many authorities may be there. But we also understand that all these multiple authorities must align with a common set of rules and regulations, policies and protocols. And the protocol to punish a person or to reward a person must be common. Whoever administers justice, they all should administer justice in a similar manner. If there are conflicting opinions about how to reward someone, how to punish someone, then justice can never be implemented. If one authority says, this is the way you have to punish him, another authority comes and says, no, this is the way you have to punish him. One authority says, this is the way you should reward this person. Another authority comes and says, no, you should reward him in a different way. I mean, these authorities are totally having conflicting opinions, independent opinions, mutually independent opinions. So if there are multiple authorities, all of them should align to a common set of protocols and policies and rules and regulations. But you have kept some rule. You have ordered us in a certain way. We go and capture a camel. And we did, as per your instruction. But we were defeated while executing your instructions. Your general instruction is, whoever commits sinful activities, you should bring them to hell. And Ajamil committed so many sinful activities, we were trying to bring him to hell. But these 4 effulgent personalities, each with 4 hands, holding so many weapons, they came, they have cut our ropes, they protected Ajamil. As soon as he chanted Narayana, 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 these Vishnudutas came and defeated us, humiliated us, insulted us, chased us away, cut our ropes. And we were completely invalidated. How is this justice? When we are trying to execute your instructions, when we are serving on your behalf, and if you are unable to give us protection while we are executing your orders, you are an incapable master. We think that we are serving a firefly. If you don't arrest those 4 Vishnudutas and bring them to hell and punish them in front of our eyes, we consider that we are serving a firefly. Can you just imagine? You are a leader and your subordinates are challenging you, publicly challenging you. It's not that Yamadutas came to have a private meeting with Yamaraj. This is the great darbar of hell, of Narakaloka. And these 3 Yamadutas are standing in front of Yamaraj with twisted faces, with some ropes in their hands as soldiers, and saying, what is this happening? What is this happening? Yamaraj is sitting here, hearing everything. Now, another interesting feature here. Yamaraj is going to tell them about the position of Narayana and how Lord Narayana is supreme boss and Yamaraj is only subordinate boss. He is a boss, but definitely there is a boss above this boss also. So all that he is going to say. But you see, if some other authority is there in Yamaraj's condition, Yamaraj's situation, position, what he would have thought? Narayana, if you have taken a decision to just surpass my instruction to my subordinates, at least you should have sent an SMS to me. Instead of sending a WhatsApp message to me before sending Vishnudutas there to protect Ajamil, you directly send them there. What am I doing here? We understand he is a supreme boss in the hierarchy. Somebody is on a higher level and you are on a lower level. And you are overseeing few more people under you. Right? That happens. Now you have instructed your subordinates in a certain way. And if your boss directly chastises the subordinates or creates an obstruction in their execution of your instruction without even communicating to you, without speaking a single word to you, then you feel that what am I doing here? My role is invalid. Nobody acknowledges my position only. If the upper man, if the higher authority wants to deal with the subordinates on the ground level, you both deal. Why are you keeping me in the between? Right? Let all the Yamadutas report to Narayana directly. Why Yamaraj is supposed to be there? Why such a big position, Yamaraj? Anyways, I'm fed up with this hell. Every day my occupation is you take him to Kumbhipaka, fry him in boiling oil for the next 10,000 years. You take him to Sachimukha hell, beat him with some whips for the next 20,000 years. This is what I have been doing. It's such a boring job. And also, I am doing this service for such a long time without taking any leaves also.
Sick leaves.
Yamaraj is gonna take a break. Because all the sinful people in this world are keeping him busy. Especially Kali Yuga people are making him even more busy. And his assistant Chitragupta is even more busy. Whenever somebody chants the holy name of Krishna, Chitragupta becomes ecstatic and he starts dancing. I'm not saying this. Shastras are saying this. Chitragupta, Yamaraj's assistant, who keeps record of all sinful activities of all living entities in this world, he becomes ecstatic and he starts dancing up and down. I don't have to maintain the record of this person. I already have so many records. I'm just getting fed up and tired. So one record less means that's a big thing. Because every record has so many pages. Hundreds and thousands of pages. Right? Chitragupta has to record all of those sinful activities. And Brahma also offers obeisances to such a person who chants the holy name of Lord Narayana or Lord Krishna. So Yamaraj was not thinking that my superior Narayana, without communicating anything to me, he defeated my subordinates and they lost faith in my authority. Right? So when the authority's authority is not acknowledged by a higher authority, this medium authority will be seen disrespectfully by the ground level people. Looks like he doesn't have any power. He has no decision making ability only. Let's go to the higher one. Next step. Not this person, we will go to the higher authority. For every thing, matters are getting escalated to higher authority, then the middle level authority will feel that I am useless. Generally, the Supreme Lord Narayana will never do like this. Let me give an example. It will make it clear. We have Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. They have given so many boons to so many demons. Just take one example of Hiranyakashipu. Lord Brahma has given a boon to Hiranyakashipu. He should not be killed inside a home or outside a home, on the land or in the sky, during the daytime or during the night time. He should not be killed by any weapon. So many such protocols. He should not be killed by any man or an animal or a devata or any being created by Brahma. So many things. And Narasimhadev had to kill Hiranyakashipu. In what form should he come? So he finally came in the form of Narasimhadev. Satyam vidhatum nijabhritya bhashitam vyaptim cha bhuteshvakhileshu chatmanah adrishyatatyadbhuta rupamudvahan stambhe sabhayam na murgam na manusham. Lord Narasimhadev appeared from that pillar in the assembly hall of Hiranyakashipu's palace, and he had a totally different form, like half man, half lion incarnation, never seen before. Adrishyata ati adbhuta rupamudvahan stambhe sabhayam na mrgam, not an animal, na manusham, not a human being. And he killed Hiranyakashipu Not inside a house or outside a house. At the entrance of the house. Not on the land, not in the sky. At the doorstep, which is little above the ground level. On his lap. Placing Hiranyakashipu on his lap. Not during the daytime or night time. During the evening time. Not using any weapon. Just mere nails. Tava kara kamale. Kamala vare. Kara kamala. But nakha is like thunderbolt. Vajra nakha. Vajra damstra. How can lotus-like hand have thunderbolt-like nails? That is Narasimha. So this is to give Abhaya Hasta. Okay, he would place his hand on the head of Prahlad Maharaj, but that fingernails that he will put in the chest of Hiranyakashipu and then rip him apart, take out his intestines and wear them as a garland. Any other incarnation wearing a garland of intestines? You know these garlands. Vanyasraja. But Narasimha wears Antarsraja. Garland of intestines. That is his style. So, the Supreme Lord Vishnu could have killed Hiranyakashipu as a human being during the daytime or during the night time, on the land or in the sky, with some weapon. He could have come in a human form or an animal form. But why the Lord has appeared in this particular form? Just to honor the boons given by Lord Brahma to Hiranyakashipu. The Lord respects the autonomy of his devotees. When a Devata gives some kind of boon to even a demon, the Lord doesn't surpass them. Right? He respects the autonomy and the authority of all the Devatas. For example, Lord Shiva has given a boon to all Yavanas. Nobody who has taken birth in Yadu dynasty will be able to kill these Yavanas. Shiva has given a boon once, for some reason, in some context. Therefore, when Kalayavana came to attack Lord Krishna with his 30 million soldiers, Lord Krishna did not kill Kalayavana. What did he do? He ran away from Mathura. So he went into Muchukunda's cave. And Kalayavana also followed Krishna and entered Muchukunda's cave and saw Muchukunda sleeping there. And Kalayavana thought that Krishna was sleeping there. And Kalayavana kicked him and woke up Muchukunda. Muchukunda got up. And because of the angry glances, not even angry glances, just because of the mere glances of Muchukunda, Kalayavana was burnt to ashes. Everybody knows this story. Why the Lord has to do that? Lord Krishna had the ability to kill Kalayavana, but he honored the boon given by Lord Shiva to Kalayavana's family. The Lord generally respects the boons given by the Devatas to their devotees, either circumstantially or intentionally. The Lord basically helps and honors those boons, acknowledges those boons, acknowledges their authority and autonomy. But somehow in the case of Yamaraj, the Lord surpassed him. On the authority of Yamaraj only, Yamadutas went to arrest Ajamil. But without any communication to Yamaraj, the Lord has completely invalidated Yamaraj's authority and directly sent Vishnudutas to protect Ajamil from the Yamadutas. And Yamadutas were defeated. It's not that Yamadutas understood everything. Although Yamadutas were given a long holy name seminar by Vishnudutas, they could not understand it. They could hear holy name seminar only from Yamaraj. So in 6th canto of Bhagavatam, in the 2nd chapter, there is one holy name seminar by Vishnudutas. In the 3rd chapter, there is another holy name seminar by Yamadutas. Audience for both the seminars is same. The 3 Yamadutas. Sorry, Yamaraj. 3rd. Vishnudutas gave one holy name seminar to Yamadutas in the 2nd chapter. Yamaraj gave another holy name seminar to Yamadutas in the 3rd chapter. Audience are same. But this lecture had an impact on them. 3rd chapter lecture given by Yamaraj had more impact. Similarly, when we are preaching to others, if our words are not being effective, if they are not accepting these words, don't worry. Maybe we are not supposed to give lecture to them. They may be affected or influenced or inspired by someone else's lecture. So, if Yamadutas could not make an impact on, if Vishnudutas could not make an impact on the mind of Yamadutas, how can we make? They may have to hear from Yamaraj only, the seminar. Who knows? Anyways, so Yamaraj did not feel offended at all. Yamaraj, in fact, became very ecstatic. Hearing all the accusations and challenging words of Yamadutas, Yamaraj became ecstatic. You know why he became ecstatic? He felt that every time these Yamadutas are coming to me and speaking how to punish these sinful people, whole discussion is managerial discussion. Whole discussion is how to punish sinful people, what kind of torture we have to give them. But for the first time in their life and in my life, they spoke the word Narayana from their mouth. Just by hearing the name Narayana, Yamaraj became ecstatic. Yamaraj became so happy and so ecstatic and felt that now I am able to speak something about Lord Narayana to them. This is my good fortune. So Yamaraj, instead of feeling offended that the Supreme Lord Vishnu has surpassed his authority and defeated his soldiers, Yamaraj felt grateful that, oh Lord, thank you so much for creating this situation in my life so that I can speak some Harikatha to my soldiers. Height of positivity. Any other subordinate authority will take his subordinates to the boss and say, Prabhu, you should have at least communicated to me. Why can't you send an email? You don't have Wi-Fi or what? Why can't you just pass a message through my heart? You don't need Wi-Fi also. When Brahma took all the Devatas on the shore of Milk Ocean, Brahma offered prayer. Sahasra Jerisha Purushaha Sahasrakshas Sahasrapat Sabhomim Vishwato Vritva. Like that he chanted Purusha Sukta. Then Lord Vishnu was not visible to Brahma only. Lord Vishnu had sent a wireless message through Brahma's heart. Tene Brahma Hridayadi Kavaye. So within the heart of Brahma, Brahma could hear the message of Lord Vishnu. What was the message? Lord Krishna is going to descend in the Yadu dynasty very soon, and all the Devatas also have to take birth in Yadu dynasty, Bhojaka dynasty, Vrishni dynasty, Anthaka dynasty and other dynasties, and assist the Lord in his mission of reducing the burden of earth. Reducing the burden of earth. This is how Brahma received this message. Without even personal communication, direct physical communication. Lord Narayana could have done the same thing with Yamaraj also. But Yamaraj did not receive any communication from the Lord. He hears the news only from Yamadutas. Only Yamadutas had to come and inform Yamaraj that your authority has no value now. Your subordinates have been defeated in their attempts to execute your instruction. Looks like your power is useless now. You are powerless now. And he is hearing from his own subordinates. But Yamaraj, instead of getting offended or affected or embarrassed or awkward and humiliated in front of his own subordinates, he is feeling ecstatic. He is feeling so happy and blissful. This is amazing. The Lord was so confident that he felt that even if he goes against my instruction by directly defeating my subordinates, I will not feel offended. The Lord had that confidence in me. You see? The Lord is completely confident that Yamaraj will not get offended. Therefore he took that liberty. And the Lord is extremely enthusiastic and concerned about his devotee Ajamil. If it is something else, if it is killing a demon, okay, I'll follow all the protocols and policies set by Devatas. But when it comes to protecting a devotee, no, I cannot wait. It takes a lot of time for me to go and communicate to Yamaraj. Although the Lord is faster than the fastest, still he feels that I don't have so much time to go and tell Yamaraj. In fact, they have done a mistake also. Their calculation is wrong. How can they consider Ajamil as sinful? Ajamil is not sinful. Let me not even communicate. Yamadutas, Vishnudutas, go and protect Ajamil immediately, at once. Yamaraj, forget all that. Go and rescue Ajamil. That is the Lord's enthusiasm to protect his devotee who chants the holy name of Krishna. That's the power of Krishna's holy name. That is the power of Krishna's holy name, Narayana's holy name. That's why Kulashekara Alvar says, He martyah paramam hitam shrunutavo vakshyami sankshepata samsararnava mapa durmi bahulam samyak pravishya sthita nanagnanamapasya chetasi namo narayanayethyabum mantram sapranavam pranama sahitam pravartayidham muhu. Hey amartyaha paramam hitam shrunutavo. My dear mortal being, my dear living being who is destined to die in this material body, paramam hitam shrunutavo. I'm going to give you a very important advice, supreme advice, paramam hitam shrunutavo. Here. I don't have time to hear you. Many conditioned souls say like this. Can you come for a lecture in our temple today? No, I'm very busy. Right? How many times have you heard this answer? We have live streaming also. No, I don't have Wi-Fi. So many reasons to hear so many other things. They have time. Srotavyadini Rajendra Nadam Santi Sahasrasaha. To hear all kinds of materialistic topics, people have so much time and energy and enthusiasm. But to hear Hari Katha, Krishna Katha, they don't have time, they don't have enthu. Therefore, Kulashekara Alvar says, Vakshyami Sankshepata. I will speak in a concise form. Sankshepa means very concise. I will speak briefly, don't worry. I will not give 3 hours lecture. I will finish in 3 lines of shloka only. He says, what is a 3-line shloka? First, please understand your situation. You know what is your situation? Samsararnava mapa durmi bahulam samyak pravishya sthita. You have entered deep into this ocean of material existence. Do you know your condition? Apa durmi bahulam. This material world, this material ocean has so many waves. What are the waves? The difficulties. Samsararnava mapa durmi bahulam samyak pravishya sthita. You have entered deep into this material ocean. Nanagnanamapasya chetasi namo narayanayethyabum. You may think that you will be able to cross this material ocean by your knowledge, by your experience. But he says, Kulashekara Alvar says, Nanagnanamapasya. Give up all your concocted ways of crossing this material ocean. You have no ability to cross this material ocean. However expert swimmer you may be, how long can you swim in an ocean? You will drown. Which direction will you swim? And on top of it, this ocean is not an ordinary ocean. There are so many crocodiles of anarthas. There are so many sharks of 6 senses. This material ocean is vast, very deep, and you are in the middle. You don't know swimming properly. On top of it, there are so many crocodiles and so many whales, so many sharks. How will you survive? Therefore, keep aside all your concocted ideas of crossing this material ocean. Nanagnanamapasya chetasi namo narayanayethyabum. Just chant the name Narayana. And that Narayana mantra, the name Narayana will act as a boat that can take you across this material ocean. When you are drowning in an ocean, your swimming abilities cannot protect you. Only a boat can protect you. When we are drowning in the material ocean, our speculated concocted ideas of liberation will not protect us. Only the boat of holy name of Krishna, Narayana, can protect us. Narayana yetyamum mantram sapranavam pranama sahitam pravartayadhvam muhu. Chant this mantra, Namo Narayana. Sapranavam, along with Om, it becomes Om Namo Narayana. Mantram sapranavam pranama sahitam. Offer pranams also. Dandavat. It's like something like Krishna said. Satatam kirtayam tamam, he said. Mam namaskuru madhyaji, he said. Pravartayadhvam muhu. Do it constantly. Not just once. Keep doing it constantly. Then you will be protected from this material ocean. That's the power of holy name of Krishna. Yamaraj, instead of getting offended by all the disrespectful remarks and challenging words of Yamadutas, Yamaraj, instead of getting offended by this bold decision taken by Lord Narayana to protect Ajamil from the clutches of his soldiers, you know what Yamaraj was feeling? He felt ecstatic. Now I get an opportunity to glorify the holy name of Lord Narayana in front of my soldiers. I am giving my first Bhagavad Katha in hell. Bhagavad Katha in hell. Very spontaneous Bhagavad Katha. Right? Without any projector and camera. Although there is no camera, it's recorded. Who recorded? Vyasdev has recorded. Chitragupta records sinful activities. Chitragupta records sinful activities, by the way, of sinful living entities. Vyasdev has recorded the Bhagavatam lecture, holy name seminar given by Yamaraj to Yamadutas. Anyways, maybe Chitragupta also must have recorded. He must have passed on that recording to Vyasdev also. We don't know. He may be correct also. I'm not correcting you. But Vyasdev has recorded this conversation in the pages of Bhagavatam. That's what I was trying to say.
2 recordings here as well.
Yeah. It's a repeated recording. So, Yamaraj began his holy name seminar. We are starting our class now. Whatever we spoke till now is only prelude, right? What's the time now? Anyways, I'll not delay you, don't worry. So Yamaraj started speaking. My dear, beloved Yamadutas, thank you so much for your challenging words that gave me an opportunity to speak some Harikatha. But please understand your foolishness. You are thinking that I am the only boss? That's your foolishness. This is the humility of a devotee. A devotee never considers himself an authority, a boss, a controller, an enjoyer, just because he has a few subordinates to report to him. Once Narada Muni asked Brahma, my dear father, you are the supreme creator of this universe. You are the most powerful living being in this entire universe. You know everything about this universe. You have created all 14 planetary systems. You have created all kinds of species, 84 lakh species. You have created so many Vedas and fine arts and so many sages and Manus and Prajapatis. You are the supreme creator. You are the supreme boss. You know what Brahma said? Narada Muni, you are mistaken. I am not the supreme boss. I am not the supreme creator. I only recreate what has already been created by the Supreme Lord Vishnu. He is the boss. I am not the boss. I am just a representative. I am just a servant. He is the original creator. He told me, do this, I am doing it. That's all. But he is the main doer. I am not the doer. I am a secondary creator. I am doing Visarga. He is doing Sarga. He gave me the seed. I am sowing the seed and plant is coming. How? The Lord's nature is facilitating. I am just a farmer, not the creator of the seed. Ahambhita pradahpataha is Krishna. I am only creating bodies. Souls are parts and parcels of Krishna. And any jiva can occupy my position, by the way. Any jiva can become Brahma. Right? So I am like that. please understand that I am not the supreme boss of this universe. Supreme boss is Supreme Lord Narayana. Similarly, Yamaraj also, with all honesty and humility, he spoke to the Yamadutas. Yamadutas, you are mistaken. I am not the supreme controller. There is a supreme controller who is above me. And all the great Mahajans also report to him, whether it is Brahma or Shiva or Narada or Vyasa or myself or Indra or Manu or whoever it is, we all report to him. He is the supreme boss. Whatever he says is dharma. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. If you think that whatever I say is your dharma, that may be correct. Whatever Yamaraj says is dharma for Yamadutas. They have to follow that. But whatever the Lord decides is ultimate dharma. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Not everybody can understand the Lord. Name viduhu suraganaha prabhavam na maharshayah ahamadirhi devana maharshinam cha sarvashaha. Name viduhu suraganaha. Great suras, great devatas cannot understand the Lord. Prabhavam na maharshayah. Great maharshis cannot understand the Lord. Ahamadirhi devana maharshinam cha sarvashaha. Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I am the source of all the devatas and rishis. How can they understand me? They cannot understand me. Even he says, Bhishma, nahi yasya karhi chitrajan puman veda vidhitsitam yadvi jignasa yayukta muhyanti kavayopihi. Bhishma says that in their attempts to understand the Supreme Lord's plans, even great intellectuals and philosophers and great personalities also get bewildered thoroughly. Puman Veda Vidichitam Yad Vijignasaya Mukta Yukta Muhyanti Kavayopihi. Muhyanti Kavayopihi means even great personalities also, kavis, poets, philosophers, scholars also get completely bewildered and confused in trying to understand the Lord. So, Yamaraj told the Yamadutas, nobody can understand the plans of the Lord. And whatever he says, whatever he thinks, whatever he implements, whatever he decides is dharma. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. If he has decided that Ajamil has to be protected from your ropes, he is perfectly alright. Who are you to tell me to get Vishnudutas to hell and punish them? Who am I to punish them? Do you think I have the ability to punish them? Do you think you have the authority to ask me to punish them? You have the audacity to ask me like this. Please behave yourself. Then Yamaraj speaks. Swayam Bhur Naradasambhu Kumaraha Kapilo Manuhu. He gives the names of all the 12 Mahajans. And only Mahajans can understand him. Not everybody can understand him. And you have gone to capture Ajamil and get him to hell. But let me tell you now very boldly, very clearly, whom should you catch? Whom should you capture and bring here? And whom you should not capture? Please memorize these shlokas and put them in the notice board. Whenever you go to capture some sinful people, read this notice board. I thought this is wall. This is some board. This is really board only. Notice board only. One day I was giving some example of wall in Cincinnati, I think. I thought, you don't have the ability to push a wall. You can push something, and I said it like this. The wall is really, I felt it being pushed. Okay, fine. This is notice board. So Yamaraj told, Write these 2 shlokas on your notice board. Whenever you go out to capture, arrest sinful souls, read the notice board carefully and then go. Otherwise, your ropes may be cut once again. And again, you don't come and tell me. Of course, I can give one more holy name seminar, but still, I don't want you to get frustrated again. So, what are the 2 shlokas? What are the 2 important notices on the notice board of Yamalok? Are you eager to hear? Yes. Read the notice board of Yamalok. He says, first, whom not to bring. That's very clear. Don't is clear. Then he says do. Te deva siddha parigita pavitra gatha ye sadhavah samadrusho bhagavat prapannah tannopasidata harer gadaya bhiguptan naisham vayam nachavayah prabhavama dande. Whom not to bring to Yamalok? Yamaraj says, authoritative words. Yamaraj is speaking to Yamadutas in Yamalok. Whom not to bring to Yamalok? Who are they? Te deva siddha parigita pavitra gatha. The devotees of the Supreme Lord are so glorious that their glories are sung by devas and siddhas also. Te deva siddha parigita pavitra gatha. Their pavitra gathas, their pure activities are glorified even by great devatas and siddhas and perfected beings and sages also. Don't bring them here. Te deva siddha parigita pavitra gatha ye sadhavah samadrusho bhagavat prapannah. What are their qualities? They are sadhavaha, great sadhus. They do great spiritual sadhana. Samadrusho, they are very equipoised. They don't differentiate between friends and enemies. They don't differentiate between happiness and distress. They don't differentiate between heat and cold. They don't differentiate between honor and dishonor. They don't differentiate between gold and a stone. They are so dedicated to the Lord. Ye sadhavaha samadrusho. They have equanimity. Equanimity is a great strength. To the degree we are getting overwhelmed by the happiness and distress in this material world, to that degree we are far away from the spiritual plane. Equanimity is an important quality that Krishna emphasizes in Bhagavad Gita throughout many places. In fact, Krishna says that samatvam yoga uchyate, that samatva is yoga, the real yoga. Yoga means connection with the Supreme Lord. That real yoga is samatvam, equanimity. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Unless we learn to not get overwhelmed by happiness and distress on a material plane, how are we eligible for liberation? If you're still getting affected by happiness and distress on a material plane, if you're getting so excited, elated, overexcited, overconfident when there is happy moment, and if you're getting too depressed and demotivated when there is a distressful moment, where is the possibility of we coming to spiritual plane? That's why Krishna said, Yam hinavyatha yantyete purusham purusharshabha sama dukkha sukham dhiram so amrutatvaya kalpati. Sama dukkha sukham dhiram so amrutatvaya kalpati. You want amrutatva? Then maintain equanimity. And Yamaraj is saying, Ye sadhavaha samadrusho bhagavat prapannah. Bhagavat prapanna. These devotees who are completely surrendered unto Bhagavan, they are great sadhus and they have equanimity. Don't approach such people. Yamaraj is speaking to Yamadutas. Te deva siddha parigita pavitra gatha ye sadhavaha samadrusho bhagavat prapannah tannopasidata harer gadaya bhiguptan. Tannopasidata, never approach them. Why? Harer gadaya bhiguptan. Lord Hari's gada, Kaumodaki gada, is constantly protecting these devotees. The Lord's Kaumodaki gada is meant to protect devotees. In the third canto of Bhagavatam, Lord Kapila says, Kaumodaki bhagavato dayitam smareta digdhamata rati bhatasho nitakardamenam Mala madhuvrata varutha giropaghushtam chaityasya tatvamamalam manimasya kanthe. Kaumodaki bhagavato daitam smareta. Kaumodaki gada is very dear to the Lord because that Kaumodaki gada is always tainted with the blood of demons who try to trouble the Lord's devotees. My dear Yamadutas, if you approach the devotees of Lord Vishnu, his Kaumodaki gada will become tainted by your blood. Don't approach. There is an invisible circle around the devotees, and that circle is made by Kaumodaki, like this. If you try to enter this circle, Alata Chakra, then you will be burnt. You will be destroyed. This is the message of Yamaraj to the Yamadutas. Dedeva Siddha Parigita Pavitra Gatha Ye Sadhavaha Samadrusho Bhagavat Prapanna Tanno Pasidata Harer Gadaya Bhiguptan Naishamvayam Nachavayaha Prabhavama Dandi. I have absolutely no authority over them. If I don't have authority, you have no authority. Please understand that. Second, even Brahma cannot touch them. Even Kala, the time factor, cannot touch the devotees. The rising and setting of sun can reduce one day in the life of a materialistic person. Ayur harati vaipumsan udyannaschamta ennaso tasyarte yat kshanonita uttama shloka vartaya. Ayur harati vaipumsan. So by the rising and setting of sun, the sun is reducing one day in the life of a materialistic person. They are coming one day closer to death. But that rising and setting of sun will not bring a devotee closer to death, but will bring a devotee closer to Krishna. You see, Devatas cannot affect devotees. Yamaraj cannot affect devotees. Brahma cannot affect devotees. Sun cannot affect devotees. So, Yamadutas, you cannot go there, go near the devotees. Clear? First notice on the notice board. Whom not to bring to hell. Whom, in short, devotees. Then whom to bring then? Second notice. Read it. What is that? Jihvana bhakti bhagavad gunanamadheyam chetasya nasmarati taccharanarvindam Krishnaya no namati yachira ekadapi tanana yadvamasato krita vishnu krityan. First point. Jihva na bhakti bhagavad gunanamadheyam. Those who do not use their tongues to chant the holy names of Krishna even once, bring them here. Jihva na bhakti bhagavad gunanamadheyam. Na bhakti means they don't utter. What? Gunanamadheyam. If they are not using their tongue to chant the name of Krishna or glorify the qualities of Krishna, they are bona fide candidates to enter hell. My dear Yamadutas, bring them here immediately. First point. Jihvana bhakti bhagavad gunanamadheyam. Second, chetascha nasmarati tacharana ravindam. Chetana. With their mind, if they are not remembering, if they are not meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord even once, bring them here. Chetascha nasmarati tacharana ravindam. Anytime you chanted the holy names of Krishna? Great. Anytime you remember the lotus feet of Krishna? That's amazing. Then third is Krishna yano namati yachira ekadapi. Anyone who has not offered obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Krishna even once, bring them to hell. If you have done these three, if you have chanted the holy names of Krishna, or glorified the qualities of Krishna, or if you have offered obeisances to Krishna, remembered his lotus feet even once, you need not go to hell. I'm not saying this. Yamaraj is saying this. Right? Krishna yano namati yachira ekadapi tana nayadvam asato akrita vishnu krityan. Asato akrita vishnu krityan. Because these people have not done anything in connection with Lord Vishnu, you bring such people to me, even once. Even once they never offered obeisances, even once they never chanted the holy names of the Lord, and even once they have not remembered the lotus feet of the Lord. Then what's the point? What are they doing in earthly planet? Bring them to hell here. That's what Yamaraj says. So this is the protocol of SOP of Yamalok. And Yamadutas noted this point. And now finally Yamaraj said many things. I'm just cutting it brief. Yamaraj, interestingly, he gives the example of Ajamil. Do you know what happened to Ajamil? We only told you. Please consider what happened to Ajamil. When Yamadutas, when all of you went to arrest him, you are defeated, your ropes are broken, you are chased away, you are chastised, you are threatened that you will be killed by Vishnu Dutas. This is what will happen if you go and touch a devotee. If you try to arrest a devotee who chanted the holy names of the Lord. Yes, we understood. They came with a complaint considering Ajamil's episode, and Yamaraj is giving that example of Ajamil and making them shut, making them quiet. This is the power of holy name of Krishna. And finally, Yamaraj offers a prayer to the Lord. Oh Lord, we are very, very sorry that we have offended your devotee. It's a Vaishnava Parad. It's an offense to holy name of the Lord. We have offended your devotee by trying to arrest him and bring him to hell. This is our great offense, grave offense. Please forgive us. That's how in front of the Yamadutas, Yamaraj offered prayer to the Lord. Instead of complaining that, oh Lord, why did you not inform me before sending Yamaduta, Vishnu Dutas to defeat Yamadutas? You should have consulted me once. You should have informed me once. At least you have sent an SMS or send an email or something like that. You just directly sent Vishnu Dutas to defeat Yamadutas. Is it proper on your part? You should never do this, please, please. You should protect my honor. He did not say all that. He said, sorry. Oh Lord, I'm really sorry. And the Lord in Vaikuntha said, I apologize, accept. Don't worry. Continue your service. So this is how the Lord is very protective towards his devotees who chant his holy names. I think we'll stop here. 7:50. Sorry for going beyond time. Did I go beyond time?
No. Still have time for questions.
Yeah. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. If you have questions, you can ask.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for the very nice class. We know that Yamaraj is a pure devotee, he's one of the Mahajans, and so he has cultivated this, humility when Lord Vishnu has, undermined his authority. So how can someone like me, at my level, cultivate those qualities to ensure that if something like that does happen in the spiritual circles or in the material circles, how can we...
If my authority surpasses my authority, what am I supposed to do? Remember Yamaraj. Read this chapter again. If your authority is surpassing you, then you should remember Yamaraj. And when you feel like surpassing your subordinate's authority, then you remember Lord Vishnu, how he dealt with Brahma in Hiranyakashipu's case. Okay. Hari. Any other question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, like the Yamaraj's guarantee, is that only for one lifetime or is it forever? Like the guarantee that you gave, whoever chants at least once, that
At
guarantee. So that guarantee, is that for just that lifetime only or is it forever?
Oh, he chanted in this life, and next birth somehow he did not go to hell, but something else happened.
Yeah.
And will he? I had to ask Yamaraj. But our inference by reading all these episodes of Bhagavatam is, whenever somebody chants the holy name of the Lord sincerely, he need not go to hell. He will not go to hell. But if casually somebody chants, also it will protect. Holy name will definitely protect. But sincerely, even if you have chanted a few holy names of the Lord, then one need not go to hell. That is very evident in our scriptures. Any other question? Mataji, yeah.
Mukesh, no, Prabhuji.
Follow Yamaraj.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Very, very nice lecture. Very insightful. I've got a question from your morning class which you took today. And because of shortage of time, we could not ask questions. So the topic was how to avoid falling in the trap of hell or something like that. The question is, it's a practical question. I know you're a monk. It is related to parenting kind of thing. I'm just going to ask this question to you, Prabhuji. So the regular thing which makes me feel that this is a clear doorway to the hell is me yelling at my son pretty often. Being a mother of a teenager, you can understand, we want them to act in a certain way, do certain things in a certain way. So that's something which I always regret deeply and hugely. But guess what? I do it almost every day. So how should we approach our children when they are not doing when they are doing something which we think is not the right thing, and we try to force on something to them which we think is the right thing to do. So what should be an approach of a devotee while looking after their children and making sure they are growing up on the right manner as a right Krishna conscious adult? So that's my question, Prabhuji. Thank you.
You began the question saying, although you're a monk. Although I'm a monk, I have been chastised by my mother several times. With that experience, I can answer this question. Mother should chastise. Mother is authorized to scold, to correct, and if needed, punish a child. If mother doesn't do, who else will do? Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat swadhyayabhyasanam chaiva vangmayam tapa uchyate. Anudvegakaram vakyam. You should speak in a soft, gentle, sober way and not agitate others with your speech. That's what Krishna said. Satyam, speak the truth. Priyahitam, be like a well-wisher. But Acharya is right in the commentary. Sometimes if it is required, you can speak udvegakaram vakyam also. Means agitating words also, if you are a mother, if you are a father, if you are a teacher. Because by default, parents and teachers are well-wishers of their children or students. Because well-wishing intent is default. With that well-wishing intention, if you speak little strong words or heavy words, especially to correct the mistakes made by the children or students, it's perfectly bona fide, authorized, and that doesn't put the parent, mother or father or teacher out of the realm of this teaching of Bhagavad Gita, Anudvegakaram Vakyam Satyam Priyahitam Chayat. So with well-wishing intent, we need to correct the younger generation. However, how much is too much, we need to evaluate. We should always keep anger under our control. We should not come under the control of anger. Anger is like chili. You know chilies? Mirchi. When it goes beyond certain dose, Nayanam Galadhashru Dharaya. Vadanam Gadgadara Dharaya. Right? So, keep it within limits. When mirchi is appropriately used, 1, 2, whatever is required as per the quantity of the dish, if it is appropriately used, it adds some taste, some flavor to the dish. Depending on what the dish is. You can't add some mirchi on gulab jamun. Right? That's the place where mirchi has no role to play. Right? But there are some sabjis, you can put some mirchi. And some people need more mirchi. Some people need less mirchi. Some people, as soon as they bite mirchi, they have tears. Some people, they take spicy sabji and there's a mirchi next to them also. They eat that also. I said, what kind of human being? Some people are like that. And some devotees, whichever item you serve them, first they take a pinch of salt and then put. Without that, they will not even put in the mouth. They need some extra salt. And some devotees, they need some 3-4 mirchis next to their plate. So every morsel of food, they bite 1 mirchi. That's what is required. Similarly, if you are comparing mirchi with anger, chili with anger, some situations demand that we show some extra anger on people to rectify the situation, to make them do what we expect them to do. And some situations demand that we show very less anger, sometimes no anger at all. When they are well behaved, the children are well behaved, gulab jamun, mother becomes like gulab jamun. When the children are doing little mischief, mother will use 1 mirchi. Will become like 1 mirchi. When children are extremely mischievous, super naughty, then mother will become a combination of 10 mirchis. But in all cases, that anger should be under the control of the individual, and we should never come under the control of anger. So, exhibiting controlled anger with a good intention to rectify the situation and to help the other person as a well-wisher is bona fide.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you. Prabhuji, if someone believes that Krishna doesn't have a form, they only pray to the Paramatma form, will they go to hell? If they don't pay obeisances to deities and
Paramatma also has a form. They pray to Paramatma form. Paramatma also has a form. Angushtamatra mamalam sprat paratamaulinam. And there are many other descriptions given about Paramatma for an Ashtanga Yogi in the 3rd canto, 28th chapter. Sanchintayed Bhagavatas Charanaravindam Vajrankusad Dhajasarvaruhalanchanadam. Every limb of the Lord is described. Brahman does not have a form. The Lord has 3 features: Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Brahman is his bodily effulgence. Paramatma is his replica. Paramatma is his expansion or replica that stays within the hearts of all living beings and every single atom. Bhagavan is his original personality. So, generally, these Ashtanga yogis, Dhyana yogis meditate on Paramatma form of the Lord within the heart. And Bhakti yogis directly serve Bhagavan form of the Lord. And Jnanis desire to merge in the effulgence of the Lord, Brahman of the Lord. If somebody meditates on Brahman, they will enter Brahman. They will embrace a sense of loss of individuality, although it is not possible. But they become, they attain liberation, impersonal liberation. And those who meditate on Paramatma, they also get liberation. They may get Paramatma liberation, or they get some Ashtasiddhis and all. But those who worship Bhagavan, personality of Godhead, they will attain the Lord face to face. Any other question, comment?
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. I have, you mentioned when somebody chants the name of Krishna, Lord Narayana Chitragupta dances. Another shloka we quoted was about whether we chant the name while laughing or doing anything. I just wanted to have the reference, the Vedic references, Shastra reference for these shlokas.
6th canto, 2nd chapter, maybe 14th shloka. Sanketyam parihasyam vastobham helanamevava.
6
Then-
and 15.
15 or 14, you can see. 6.2, 6th canto, 2nd chapter. And Rupa Goswami compiled a beautiful set of shlokas called Padyavali. In that you will find the Chitragyupta thing. I don't remember the Sanskrit.
Thanks so much, Prabhuji. My next question, Prabhuji, you mentioned about Yamaraj sending people to hell. The question was how effective that
Receiving people at hell.
receiving or sending different,
Sending
How-
to
yeah.
different compartments.
How effective is that punishment given that we don't remember the sufferings or for that matter the suffering we experienced in mother's womb? I know today unless a policeman catches me, traffic police, making an offense on the road, on the traffic, I'm not afraid of that. So how effective is that punishment which you don't recall at all? Thank you.
Good question, very thoughtful question. As a result of the sinful actions that a conditioned soul performs, the conditioned soul suffers in the hell. And after hellish suffering, the conditioned soul again takes birth in some kind of species on the earthly planet. He or she may not remember all the punishment. Why? It is the arrangement of the Lord. Mattaha smritir gnanam apohanam cha. Krishna, out of his deep compassion, he gives forgetfulness of all those sufferings because the trauma is very difficult to undergo. However, the Lord also gives remembrance. Apart from apohanam, he also gives smriti. Mattaha smritir gnanam apohanam cha. He will give remembrance also. He will give remembrance of the past desires, unfulfilled desires. As a result of one's sinful activities, the conditioned soul suffers in hell. And as a result of unfulfilled desires, the conditioned soul takes one more birth after suffering and pursues those material desires. That's the remembrance he gets. While pursuing those material desires, the conditioned soul again suffers. That suffering is sufficient. He need not have the remembrance of the suffering that he underwent in the hellish planets. That's too much overload for people. Because surgery done without giving anesthesia is very painful. So some anesthesia of forgetfulness has to be given. And surgery anyway is happening in the form of a new birth, where under illusion he is pursuing material desires. That itself is suffering. And apart from arranging the situation of suffering for the conditioned soul, the Lord also arranges for scriptures to enlighten the conditioned soul, especially in a human form. And he also arranges for acharyas to explain those scriptures nicely. And he personally comes and performs so many pastimes in various incarnations to attract our attention and eventually take us to the spiritual world. So the Lord's intention is not to make us suffer, but the Lord's intention is to transform us. Okay. So he wants to rectify our mentality. For that, whatever amount of suffering he feels is appropriate, that only he will give. And whatever is required for us to remember from the past lives, that only he will allow us to remember. He need not allow us to remember everything, every bit of pain that we underwent before. In this one lifetime, we have sufficient pain. Let's meditate on that. Why we have to remember the hellish suffering that we have had many lifetimes back, or maybe in the previous lifetime. But in this lifetime itself, we did so many mistakes and we faced so many difficulties. Let's remember that and then try to take shelter of the Lord. And by the way, remembering past pain is not the only way to take shelter. That's like a negative way of inspiring someone to take shelter. But a positive way of inspiring someone to take shelter of the Lord is by scriptures, acharyas, and incarnations. Make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. How much time we have?
I think we can stop here.
We'll stop.
Tomorrow. They can come tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Next class. Thank you very much. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Please, Gauranga Darshan Prabhuji.
Hari Bol.